Ever wonder why, after all these years, Japanese touring bikes are still the ones you actually see out on the highway? It is not just nostalgia. It is because they keep outlasting, out-comforting, and outvaluing everyone else. From Honda's indestructible Goldwing to Yamaha, Suzuki, and Kawasaki's long-haul legends, these bikes prove you do not need flashy gimmicks or luxury price tags to rule the road. Stay tuned, because by the end of this ride, you will know exactly why Japan still sets the standard. Reliability, the gold standard. Now let's talk about the one thing every rider secretly worries about. Will this bike leave me stranded? With the Honda Goldwing Tour, the answer is almost always no. This machine has a reputation that borders on mythical. Riders tell stories of hitting 200,000 miles, swapping out tires and oil along the way, and the engine just keeps on purring like it was built yesterday. That kind of longevity is why the Goldwing has been the go-to touring bike for decades. Here's the fun part. Around 29 grand gets you this rolling living room, complete with the kind of bulletproof reliability that makes you forget what a tow truck looks like. Now compare that to some of the European options. A BMW K1600 might wow you with features, but you'll be opening your wallet more often for maintenance. Same goes for Ducati's Tourers, which ride like a dream but can be temperamental when you actually rack up serious miles. Even American cruisers, with all their charm, often ask you to spend as much time wrenching as riding. The Goldwing, though, just gets on with the job. That's why reliability is still Japan's trump card. Comfort, built for real riders. Next, we should talk about comfort, because touring is not about blasting around for 20 minutes. It is about hours in the saddle, sometimes days, and the difference between finishing a trip smiling or crawling off the bike sore enough to regret everything. Japanese brands know this better than anyone. Take the Yamaha Tracer 9. For just over 12.5 grand, you get a bike with ergonomics designed for real riders, not showroom statues. The seat, the handlebar position, even the wind protection are tuned so you can ride sunrise to sunset without feeling like you just lost a wrestling match. Suzuki's V-Strom 1050 takes the same idea into adventure territory, balancing upright comfort with suspension that soaks up whatever the road throws at you. Now compare that to some of the European contenders. A Ducati Multistrada feels spectacular for an afternoon ride, but stack on 1,000 miles and it will test your patience. Harley's touring rigs deliver classic cruiser comfort, but at the cost of agility and sometimes with a heft that wears you down on tighter roads. Japanese comfort is practical comfort. It is comfort you notice at the end of a 12-hour day, not just in the first half hour. Value, more bike for your buck. Now let's move on to value, because sooner or later every rider does the math. How much bike am I really getting for the money? This is where Japanese touring machines wipe the floor with the competition. Look at the Suzuki V-Strom 1050. Around 15.5 grand gets you a proven V-twin engine, rugged adventure styling, advanced electronics, and the kind of reliability that means you are spending weekends riding, not paying invoices. Kawasaki's Versys 1000 SELT Plus takes things up a notch, coming in just under 20,000. For that price, you get comfort, power, and suspension tech that makes rough pavement feel like a rumor. Now, line those up against European choices. A Ducati Multistrada V4 or BMW GS Adventure can easily push well north of $25,000 before you even add luggage. Sure, they deliver performance and premium branding, but they also lock you into higher service costs and pricier parts. American options like Harley's touring line carry plenty of attitude, but by the time you customize them for real-world touring, the bill runs far past what the spec sheet first promised. Japanese bikes keep it simple. They give you more for less, and the value is baked in from day one. And that's just the start. The best parts are still ahead: the engineering, the toughness, the legacy. Stick with me, hit that like button, and let's keep rolling. Engineering. Smart, not showy. Now let's talk about engineering, because this is where Japanese bikes quietly flex. They are not built to dazzle you with gimmicks you will use twice and forget. They are built to work every single day, no matter how rough the road or how long the ride. Take the Kawasaki Versys 1000 SELT Plus. It packs clever suspension that automatically adjusts as you ride, keeping things smooth whether you are carving corners or carrying a week's worth of luggage. Honda's Goldwing shows the same philosophy. Yes, it has luxury touches, but under the bodywork is an engine and chassis designed to last decades, not just one warranty period. Now compare that to European competitors. A BMW K1600 or Ducati Multistrada will flood you with tech menus, riding modes, and flashy electronics. They are amazing machines, but when something goes wrong, it is not just inconvenient, it is expensive. American tourers, meanwhile, lean heavily on tradition. The engineering is charismatic but not always refined, and it often feels like style gets more attention than mechanical finesse. Japanese engineering has a different goal. It is about solving problems before you ever face them. Smart, reliable, and rider-focused, it keeps you on the road instead of in the shop. Technology, useful, not just flashy. Next, we should dive into technology, because it is easy to get distracted by touchscreens, radar, and voice commands. Japanese touring bikes approach tech differently. They ask a simple question: does this make the ride better or just fancier? Honda's Goldwing answers that with Apple CarPlay integration, seamless navigation, and a sound system that makes highway miles fly by. These are features that actually matter on a 10-hour trip. Yamaha takes a similar route with the Tracer 9, giving you customizable ride modes and a quick shifter that makes long stretches more fun without turning the cockpit into a science experiment. Now look across the aisle at the Europeans. Ducati and BMW pile on impressive tech, but some of it feels designed more to impress at a dealership than to hold up after 5 years of riding. Adaptive cruise control and radar are cool, but when they glitch, the repair bills could ruin your next holiday. American cruisers often take the opposite path, sticking with minimal tech and leaving riders wishing for a few modern conveniences. Japanese bikes land right in the sweet spot. They give you the tools you need for safer, more enjoyable rides, without burying you under fragile gadgetry. Durability, built to take a beating. Now let's talk about durability, because a touring bike is only as good as its ability to handle years of punishment. Japanese machines are built with this in mind. They are not fragile trophies. They are workhorses designed to face rain, sun, dust, and endless miles without complaint. Take Suzuki's V-Strom 1050. Riders push these bikes across deserts, gravel tracks, and interstate highways, and they just keep going. The engine is tuned to be tough, not temperamental, and owners report minimal issues even after tens of thousands of hard miles. Kawasaki's Versys follows the same playbook. It is overbuilt in the best way, with a frame and suspension that shrug off abuse most bikes would grumble at. Now, stack that up against some European rivals. Ducati adventure bikes deliver performance, but their delicate electronics and tighter service intervals can make them less forgiving when the road gets rough. BMW GS models are legendary, but when something fails out in the wild, you will need a technician and a healthy bank account. American tourers? They look durable, but weight and vibration often take their toll quicker than riders expect. Japanese durability is simple. These bikes are built to survive the long haul, not just the showroom. If you think durability is impressive, wait until you see how versatile these bikes really are. Don't go anywhere, hit subscribe, and let's keep pushing further down the road. Versatility. One bike, many roads. Now we should talk about versatility, because not every rider wants a machine that only shines on the highway. Sometimes you want a bike that can handle city traffic on Monday, mountain switchbacks on Saturday, and a cross-country trip in between. Japanese touring bikes nail this balance better than anyone. Take the Yamaha Tracer 9. It is light enough to weave through downtown traffic, yet it still has the comfort and power to carry you hundreds of miles without breaking a sweat. Then there is Honda's Africa Twin. It is a touring bike that laughs at gravel roads, letting you take the scenic route when the pavement ends. Kawasaki's Versys rounds out the trio, blending sport bike handling with upright ergonomics that make it equally at home on the daily commute or a weekend getaway. Now compare that to European bikes. Ducati's Multistrada is thrilling, but it feels happiest on smooth pavement and can be pricey to keep happy elsewhere. BMW's GS is versatile, sure, but it is also tall, heavy, and intimidating for many riders. American tourers, meanwhile, excel at long highway hauls but struggle when the roads get tight or twisty. Japanese versatility means one bike can do it all without compromise. Performance? Power you can actually use. Here is where things get exciting. Performance. Japanese touring bikes are not about chasing spec sheet bragging rights. They are about delivering power you can actually enjoy mile after mile. They give you speed when you want it, control when you need it, and confidence all the time. Take the Suzuki Hayabusa. It is famous for being a speed demon, but what makes it shine as a long-distance machine is how smooth that power feels. Rolling on the throttle is effortless, and the bike just glides into triple digits without drama. Honda's Africa Twin brings performance in a different flavor. It balances torque and agility so you can carve through twisties one day and handle dirt roads the next. Yamaha's Super Tenere is another example, built to cover continents with an engine that delivers strength without wearing you down. Now compare that with European options. Ducati's Multistrada V4 will thrill you with raw horsepower, but it sometimes feels like overkill for everyday touring. BMW's K1600 has power to spare, but at the cost of weight and complexity. American tourers? They have torque, no question, but they lack the finesse when the road demands precision. Japanese performance is balanced. It is thrilling, but never overwhelming. Heritage. Decades of proven trust. When you look at why Japanese touring bikes still dominate, heritage plays a massive role. These machines are backed by decades of real-world proof, not just marketing promises. Riders have been piling miles on them since the 70s, and the formula has only gotten stronger. Honda's Goldwing is the perfect example. It first rolled out in 1975 and quickly became the gold standard for long-distance riding. Generations of riders have trusted it to take them across countries without drama. Yamaha's FJR 1300, another icon, earned its stripes with police departments and iron butt riders who demand comfort and toughness under serious mileage. Suzuki's V-Strom line has its own legacy, carrying adventure touring DNA that countless riders still rely on today. Now contrast that with European and American competition. Ducati and BMW have their share of prestige, but their touring lines are younger and often lean on brand image as much as proven endurance. Harley-Davidson, of course, has heritage in spades, but much of it is about style and culture rather than bulletproof touring performance. Japanese heritage is practical heritage. It is not just about history on paper. It is about decades of bikes that have already done the journeys you are dreaming about. Why Japan still leads the pack. So it's for me to ask you something, and the question almost answers itself. Why do Japanese touring bikes still outperform so much of the competition? Because they do the simple things right, over and over again. Reliability that makes breakdowns a distant memory, comfort that holds up after 12-hour days, value that keeps your wallet intact, engineering that is smart, not overcomplicated, and heritage that proves these machines are not experiments, but perfected tools for riders who actually ride. Of course, European bikes bring thrills, luxury, and plenty of flair. American bikes bring attitude and culture. Both are tempting, and they have their own fans. But when the road stretches out for thousands of miles, it is usually a Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, or Kawasaki that gets chosen. Not because they are the loudest, but because they are the most trusted. If you are planning your next long-haul adventure, think about what matters most. Less time in the shop, more time on the open road. That is what Japanese touring bikes promise, and that is why they keep winning riders over. And I've been waiting to tell you this all along. Did you know, the Honda Goldwing, the bike we've been praising for reliability, has been in continuous production since 1975, making it one of the longest-running touring models in history. That kind of staying power sums up exactly why Japanese touring motorcycles still lead the pack today. So, which one would you take? The rock-solid Japanese ride or the pricier alternatives? Drop it in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the machines that move us.